Yes, sure.
This question is for Mr. Ambani. You came in with just 7 slots to fill and very little money at hand. So getting 2 players at base price and this, is it working exactly according to plan?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we had identified the 7 slots that we wanted to fill. It was very critical for us to get Linney and Coulter-Nine. Of course, Saurabh has been with us for the last 3 scores of his for Mumbai Indians have been 350s. So I think we are well set, very happy with our buys. I think some of them are steals at base price. We had never accounted them to go for base price because they're, of course, capped players. And very happy with them.
We rated very highly, and certainly the captain has a great relationship with him. He's proven that he's a quality leg spinner, which we value very highly. Different type of bowler to Karan Sharma, but we also have to make some decisions around how that all fits in. But it was an opportunity today that came up, and we took it. We have a pretty well balanced squad, so we've always favoured spin. Our home ground is very spin dominant, so having a lot of spinners is not a bad thing. And getting Hazelwood at the end just adds a little bit of firepower with Ngidi, who we didn't have last year. So again, like the other teams, just trying to add some pieces to what's a pretty full puzzle anyway, and then just work through the combinations. You can get confused and look for the ultimate squad, but we're actually pretty happy with our playing group. So it was just a case of trying to add a few things different.
You sort of had to struggle to get a left-arm seamer on board. Today, the first up you went for Sam all out. Was it planned as such that the first possible left-arm seamer you'll just go all out for him?
There's a lot of players. Cummins is one that I think most people identified, but we didn't have a lot of money, so we had to be very smart. But Sam Curran we like. Yes, he's a left armer. The other thing we like is he has a great attitude in the game. He really gets into the game. He's played well against us in the past. He's playing well for England. We think there's a bit more improvement there as well. So he fits in nicely with Bravo in that sort of 7-8 role, and we're very happy to get him. Thank you.
My question for Manoj, but first for Akash. Akash.
Yeah.
Being the most successful team, how difficult or how tempting is to change the combination, release the players and still buy? Is it a difficult task or
Yeah. It's the most difficult part of IPL, to release the players, especially because last year we were champions and then we took some decisions. Of course, injuries was a big concern about the number of players we left. We left and traded out 12 players this season. That's the most that Mumbai Indians has ever done in the last 5 or 6 years. And but those decisions were the toughest. But we would like, and we did it on the basis of for players to get more playing time on other franchisees and go ahead and do that. So it's definitely the most difficult part of letting go of these players because we had such a successful season with them. And want to wish them all the best for whichever franchisee that they play for.
Manoj, just wanted to ask Rajasthan Royals fixation or consistent obsession for Jaydev Unadkat.
Well, I think it's the dynamics of the third auction are always about filling a few gaps. We think JD's still one of India's finest quick bowlers, and that's always been proven by the fact that every time we've bought him or bought him back in the auction, there's been other franchises looking for him. So he fills a very specific slot. He works well with our captain. They have a terrific relationship, and he fits really well into the Royals, so we're very pleased to have him back.
Mr. Badale, this is Shayan from Sportstar. Just wanted to know that with Rajasthan Royals, you have Steven Smith, Ben Stokes and the other two top players on the your foreigners are taken care of. So how coming into an auction, how important does it get for a franchise to ensure that the other areas are well kept, and what are the thought process that you still have a lot of gaps to fill? So what is the way forward?
Yeah, I mean, we were lucky with our overseas big four, as you rightly point out, but we always have a little bit of a challenge with the English players because you never quite know whether they're available for the full tournament. So your thought process is really about finding backups for each of those players for your overseas slots. But also we had a couple of quite important slots to fill, particularly around Indian quick bowlers, and also a little bit of experience in our batting, which is why Robin is such an important purchase for us today.
Hi, Mr. Badale. This is Shomik from Indian Express.
Hi.
Mr. Badale, when you buy a youngster like Yashashi Jaiswal for rupees 2.4 crore, is it about with an eye to making an instant impact, or you look to the future also?
No, I think with Jaiswal and even Tyagi, they're definitely players that we think could play a very important role for the Royals over the next 4 to 5 years. So you can't, particularly with the heavy price tags that the third auction often results in, because there's a lot of money in the room that's spent on a very small number of players. So you always get these inflated prices in a third auction. And I think that's tough for some of the young players. It's probably nice for their families, but it's quite tough for them in terms of the pressure. So you have to be clear with them that it's a 3 to 4 year journey that you want to take them on.